Hello and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 3 and the Italy campaign. And where we left off, it was the start of 1937. I think, we made to April, I think it was April time. And now we are in November of 1937. And the main reason for the lapse in time has been a major reorganization of the Italian army and also the leadership of that army. So we can go through step by step. You're coming to sort of into this at the end point of the process. There's a few things I want to go over about what I'm going to do with unit setups and things. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start with the main aspect of the army. So I've got together the 8th, the 6A Armata del Po. I don't know if that's a specific why that's got a naming convention, the others don't, but oh well. And this is going to be the motorized aspect of the army for now, or at least we're going to get it ready, and that is under Graziani, who's one of our better commanders, and I've moved all of the sort of superior logistics commanders into the highest roles within the military, including this guy who's actually a logistic genius, and I didn't realize that he had that trait, but it's also cool in relation to this guy, because he gets a 35% experience gain, and I assume that's because of the Spanish Civil War. It looks like a Spanish Civil War medal. So that's really cool. Now, for North Africa, there's two different division types that I'm going to be creating. It's going to be fast divisions and the breakthrough units. So the breakthrough units are going to be centered around the Bersaglieri. I've just butchered that. I do know how to pronounce that, I think. Bersaglieri? I don't know. Someone comment in the comments and tell me what a moron I am. But these specialized light infantry are better than standard infantry when you look at their stats on a stat-by-stat comparison basis. So the specialized light infantry have an attack of 30 with a hard attack of 9, and you compare that to 21 and 5. So they're really quite superior, and they're even superior when compared to motorized infantry as well. They're also pretty quick at 5, but the division template that I'm going to be using for these guys is something a little bit different. I'm going to be going for this. Not a divisional headquarters. No. It's either that or Italian light vehicle. It's one of the two. I haven't quite decided yet. I might go light vehicle, because we get more bonuses for that because we're in the Grand Battle Plan doctrine. But this is the general setup we're going for. Now, I know there isn't a lot of combined arms bonus going on here, mainly because we're not using a lot of the sort of the direct fire things. But the stats on this are quite impressive. You know, the 95 soft attack with the 47 hard attack, and then the 25 piercing, which is what we're getting from the heavy AA. So we're going to use this as a breakthrough unit. And then I might use a couple of the heavy artillery divisions that I've got up here for a couple of infantry support units to help break through. And the main reason we're building them is because the UK does get a couple of medium tank divisions, but it's more El Alamein and El Hamon, which are the major problems. Breaking through these two provinces is going to be very important. Now, to complement these relatively slow units, I mean, if we just sort of have a look at them, they're only running at a speed of 3.5, which isn't the slowest, but it's not great. To complement them, I want to build light armor divisions that are extremely quick. So we want to go something like this. And then whatever else is quick that's relatively cheap on production as well. So, yep, motorized support maybe. And I mean, that's running at 6 miles an hour. What's slowing it down? Is it the motorized infantry battalion? No. What would be slowing you down? Would it be the truck? Might be the truck. No, truck's at 7. Oh, it's just the armor division itself. Okay. But yeah, something along these lines. And then the motorized infantry attachment. Something like that with something else thrown in. I haven't quite decided yet. I mean, we could maybe do tank destroyers, but I'm not 100% sure on that. We'll have to see, but along those lines to act as a fast-moving unit to overtake the British units over here. So we use the breakthrough forces of our specialized light infantry units, and then we use the light armor to push forwards. And I've put Meze into one of our better command groups, and I'm just in the middle of updating one of the cavalry. Now, alongside that, I want to have a motorized, relatively quick motorized corps for use down here, and also for use maybe once we take Spain into France. Although taking France is much less of a thing because, of course, Vichy gets created, as does the northern, the northern areas get conquered by Germany, and we're going to have Atlantic ports based over here. Now, in some sort of good strategic news, the Republican Spain are doing very well against nationalist Spain and building themselves up quite nicely. The longer, though, that this war goes on, the better, because it'll mean that Spanish Republican Spain is weaker and more ready for invasion. But as you can see, we're doing extremely well in supporting the nationalists just to keep them in the fight for enough time. But I'm glad that the Republicans are going to win, because it acts almost as a casus belli, you know? We support the nationalists, and yet the Republicans win. So yeah, so I've already started building up these motorized type units, and let me just find an example. We've got some more of our specialist units ready to be deployed. Where are you? Come on, oh, there we go. So I'm giving light armor attachments to all of my units, and I'm happy I picked light armor attachments because Italy seems to get a lot of them. I've actually got a little bit of a motor pool going on in Milano, or Milan. And yeah, I'm aiming to build quite fast motorized support units that can just exploit any breakthroughs. And they're going to be primarily used in Yugoslavia because there's a fair amount of planes. And also in North Africa, if I need extra support, maybe moving into North African France over here. So that's sort of some basics of the units. Now, none of these are 100% as I want them. For example, this unit could do a motorized support brigade. I'm also going to be putting a lot of AA in these units because of the AA tech here. The dual-purpose anti-tank AA guns. When we join the Axis, this will become available. I think it's from, yes, yeah, 1941. So, but I think we can get it earlier than that. But I would like to get AA or heavy AA into a lot of our units. That's going to be something that we're going to want to do pretty ASAP for the piercing and the harder attack for when it comes to fighting the Soviets eventually, which I think we will at least be in a fight with them. If we can take control of the Caucasus, I think that would be a pretty solid war target for us. And then finally, for my mountain units, I've started getting them arranged as I want them as well. They're not 100% perfect. So for example, this unit, I would ideally put recon and anti-tank in here, but it's all just about timing, and I'm going to concentrate on the motorized units first, then the mountain units, and so on. And I've given them as good commanders within sort of the Italian OBE as I can. So that sort of goes over the basics of what I've done reorganizing. Now, with sort of a lot of our support units, shall we say, I've built or put together divisions like this, where we've just taken a lot of militia, etc., and just taken the odds and ends, really. Now, this group of, what's that, divisions-wise? 13 units. is going to be used to garrison Spain once we take it. Now, in North Africa, I've split out any sort of units that have got more than one that are colonial light infantry, and they've now been built into actual colonial light infantry divisions. Now, all of the the military police, the garrison units, etc., they all have old guard commanders, including some of these guys. And the main reason I do that is just because I really don't like looking at old guards in my leadership pool. But I've given to the superior command quite a lot of very decent logistical commanders to aid with the logistics up here. But, I mean, as you can see, they've already started building units in Ethiopia. I'm not sure why they're disappearing, though. That's a bit weird. So that's really good. The more units they can build, the more garrison duty that they can do, and the less emphasis it will be on me to do that. I mean, they could split off and create a pretty large number of units down there, which is kind of good. So from a production standpoint, I have been building IC, and thank you, I can't remember, sorry, the name of the comment, but you pointed out that we have oil in some areas down here. So I am building up the, where is it? Yes, this little train down here to get the oil, and the same thing over here. We're just building this up, because I think, you know, once we can start accessing the oil, it's base 4, and base 5. So that's a pretty sizable amount to go with the 2 we've got in here. And then I can cancel my trades for oil once we get that production up and running. I've got plans to build up the air base and port on Rhode Island, as well as the Dodecanese. We want to build decent air bases here so that we can strike at the North African mainland here, and the same thing in Tobruk. We definitely want to build up the air base there as well. But I think that sort of covers off everything you've missed. I am just in the process of picking up a couple of units that spawned in North Africa. And one thing I did notice is we can convert colonial cav into infantry tanks, but we can't convert standard cavalry into infantry tanks. So I'm not sure if that's an oversight in the mod, or if that's just if there's a particular reason for that. I mean, there might well be a reason that I'm not understanding, but surely they should have the same enhancement options, but oh well. Let's take all of you, and then now bring you back to the mainland. And I do need to arrange my air forces as well as my naval forces. That is on my to-do list as well. Right. Production's been coming along quite nicely as well. Maybe we should just talk about those. Sorry, technology's been coming along quite nicely as well. We've been building up a fair amount of tech, and we're already at 38, 37 for quite a few things, which is quite nice. Let's just make sure we grab all of the air techs. Now, I did notice on armor, in anti-tank, we do want to get that basic anti-tank ammunition, which will improve our heavy AA pretty substantially. I also need to start working on the upgrades pretty soon as well. Right, infantry support tank has just improved. And you know what? That immediately means we're going to get the basic anti-tank ammunition. But yeah, we're going to be using AA instead of anti-tank, I think, because we don't have any anti-tank built at the moment, and we've got a pretty sizable amount of AA as well. We don't need to do CAG. We are doing the Fleet Carrier Auxiliary Doctrine purely to get to the Naval Underway Replenishment Doctrine, because of the fact that we need it to get Marines. Now, I have built, or we have got a single Marine unit here that's naval infantry at the moment. And I've cobbled together a whole bunch of different things. So it's got Pack, Engineer, Elite Light Infantry, one of the only ones we had, and a Commando unit, just to make them quite specialised. This is going to be the, the first of those specialised units. We do need to get amphibious warfare equipment as well, as quite urgent. I'm not that bothered about submarines. Yeah, let's get port strike tactics and build up our naval aspect as well. Now, from an organisation standpoint, the mountain army over here is going to have all of our mountain units, and then I'm going to put all of my infantry into the units that we have grouped over here and just dotted around. And speaking of which, we've got 13 of you that we can divide into 2 groups of 4. And then let's give you some... We want to give you, yeah, the... I'm going to try and keep the organisational aspect of the army relatively similar to how it is at the moment. All of my core HQs have got Garrison or HQ defence attachments in there, just to stop them from breaking in case they get attacked. Yeah, and let's jump you over there. And then finally, let's have you form this group here on Syracuse. And then we can have everyone else. You're a core. You're a core. Should we have the centre and the north as their own separate groups? Yeah, let's do that. Let's have you be one group as well. And then finally, the Yugoslavian Coast Guard group. Okay, so that's looking a little bit better now. We've still got a lot of organising to do, as you can see. But it's not at least as bad as it was. And then over here, we can get these units into position. So we're going to have you 4, or you go over here. You're going to go in this direction. And then we're going to have a group over there. And 2nd Corps. And then 4th Corps. And then the Eritrean army, which, you know what, we might as well keep that up in Eritrea. Yeah, do the port strike next level for the naval air targeting. And I might build some CAGs. There might actually be some use to that this time round. Okay, the next level of battle cruiser. Now, was there anything else that we wanted over here before I go back into tank? I mean, having the ability to build medium armor wouldn't be a bad idea. So, you know what? We're going to grab that. Okay, no crash. Okay, so another division. That's a crash waiting to happen. Is there a way to move that out? Because right now it's 0. Let's drop a save. Game may crash, but let's drop a save. And then let's take a look at this. So if we move that first, and then that, aha, good. Then we hit the brake button. There we go. Good, good. Okay, so that's another infantry unit, although you don't have a HQ. So let's take all of the mountain units. In fact, let's just select you all. So we're going to take the green ones and keep them in one group. So Ein, Zwei, Drei, 4, 5. Let's bring you all over there. And then let's get the next group. So some of these have got funny... There we go. Nope, you're already moving. Yep, so you, and you. Let's have you go over there. Your mountain group as well with the me. Yeah. Let's take... I want to keep all of the mountain units together if we can. I think there is another one as well, but maybe I'm slowly losing my mind. So yeah, by concentrating on specific techs, we're doing quite well. Yep, I want to keep autarky going. And yeah, there is still 2 mountain units somewhere in here. Yeah, there they are. Right, and let's bring you over as well. We'll trade with the Spanish Republic for now, why not? We did steal some blueprints, so I have got my intelligence working sort of overdrive at the moment. I'm stealing intelligence from the UK, from Germany, and from France. Now, actually, I probably don't need to do counter-espionage in Germany. We can just concentrate on tech espionage. So... Oh, and we got the long-range submarine class improvement, which is kind of cool. That's actually a good one. I mean, not that I'll be building many submarines, because we've got a pretty sizable submarine fleet anyway. But our submarine tech is actually halfway decent. Might actually be worth investing a little bit into it. Doing all of the grand battle plan techs, which is important. We're doing naval with onto air now, so let's do nav tactics as well as the naval strike tactics, because we need our naval air arm to be very positive. And yep, we've got all of our units together now, which is nice. Let's take all of the motorized next. So you, and there's a lot less of this. Yeah, you're semi-motorized, so you count. Let's take the units here. I could have sworn I had more than that. Oh well, let's take them and move them north. We'll switch you with you. Yes, very good. Let's take the 1 Marine Division north as well. Just to arrange everything. And now we're left with just our bog standard infantry, which are all fairly similar, but not 100% similar. So let's take all of you and let's split you into different groups. So let's take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go over here. Let's take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and go over here as well. Nope. And then we can keep the naming convention going in a minute. Right, and we've got a nice even number of infantry units, which is kind of nice. Very cool. Okay, you know what we can do? We can take, yeah, the Free Corp we have down here and bring that north. And then let's finish getting these units all together. So... Oh, did I accidentally... Oh, I must have accidentally moved one like so. Let's do that. And then these very weak militia units that are literally just there to guard ports and for garrison, you know, for suppression of rebels. Let's put all of you together. Okay, very nice. Right, so we did, I think, yeah, get these extra units landed. Let's move them north as well. And we've got another motorized corps, which we can give to the Armata del Po. Yeah, let's get everyone else into position. So, let's just finish up attaching all of these. And we should see our supply requirement drop off as well, as a result of this. Now, as I keep saying, these division templates aren't what I would normally go for, but they will do. And this organisation isn't 100% what I would go for, but I'm trying to keep it at least moderately in line. You know, it doesn't, you know, obviously it's not going to be 100% perfect. Okay. Alright, so you've got an Air Nautica group. In fact, let's move the Air Nautica group into the capital. And then, for our purposes, we're going to want to take East Africa quite quickly. So I'm going to move all of our superior colonial light infantry units in this direction, because we're going to tidy up this first and then move in this direction. And then let's send all of our militia in this direction. Like so. Yeah, who else? Yeah, you. Because the terrain over here, while these units aren't particularly good, the terrain itself is quite difficult for British units to break through, and the Brits won't start with a huge amount of forces. So we can bottleneck them pretty substantially, and then we only need a couple of decent units, maybe a single infantry corps as well down here, just to provide a little bit of punch. Nice. Okay, and then over in this direction we've got one militia there. Let's move a militia to here. Let's move a militia here. And then let's use another one over here. So that's worked out perfectly. We've got exactly the amount of units that we wanted within these particular areas. So that's a little bit of good news. There must be some more militia that I haven't moved yet. Ah, okay. Should we send you... There's no river here, so you know what? Let's send you there. And then let's send you down there as well. We'll make that border a little bit stronger, because if they're going to break through anywhere, it'll be over there. Right, heavy anti-air guns increase again, which is nice. Oh, it's the destroyers. Okay, that's fine. And that's 38 as well. Let's get both of these. And we are going to need to start building the Air Force in 1938. We've got a little bit more time to prepare than like sort of a standard game, because we're playing Italy and they don't get involved in the war until a little bit later. And let's just check to see how the highest threat stuff is doing. So Italy, our highest threat is Republican Spain. And we need to declare war on them when we overtake that. So yeah, it's going to take a while, but hopefully by 1939 we can do some work in that side of things. Okay. This is a lot of just seeing me click buttons, I'm afraid. I have decided to put a bit of this on camera because I didn't want to reach 1938 without, you know, doing a little bit of footage. That felt a bit, well, just not that great, really. Let's move, yeah, you over to here. Yeah, we don't have many motorized units. Yeah, we've got another... Yeah, we've got a lot of light tanks just lying around. You don't have a light tank group. You know what? We'll give you a light tank group. I know you're only semi-motorized, but might as well. And then we do have, yes, a light vehicle here. Let's... most of you have got trucks, but let's give a light vehicle to one of those guys over there. And then we can replace you with you. You can go over to here as well. And then you can go to Mantova. In fact, let's just link you straight in like so. Very good. Okay, so we're waiting on you to come to here. Let's attach these infantry units as well. And hopefully we're going to have our army all nicely arranged in a moment. Hopefully you're getting a good look at the organisation. As I say, these aren't perfect, and they're not what I'd immediately go with, but they are what we have. And they should be enough to definitely fight off Yugoslavia and hold a defensive position against the French. While we build up decent units like the Mountain Corps, which can be used in Albania, in Greece, and in Yugoslavia over here. And also the Mountain Corps, which will be used to probably very good effect in Spain because of the huge amount of mountain terrain that we have over there. And I've got a pretty sizable landing fleet as well, which is good. Okay. So, yeah, we are nearly at the end then. Let's... We got all these units getting to position? Yep, slowly but surely. Let's attach anyone that's going to be based in Atria. Yep, got 3 there. We've got our 2 armies ready over here. We're just waiting on you to get into position here, ready to fold around here and take this port. Pre-war armor construction. Now that's finished. That's one that has finished. Let's get... We do want to improve our fighters and our twin-engine craft. So I'm going to get both of those, and our officer ratio is not looking too bad at the moment, so I'm going to drop the officer requirement just a little bit. Nope. And we're green across the board, apart from on fuel, which keeps dropping in and out. Small warship radar improvement. Is that over here? It is. When can I build destroyer class improvements? The engine requirement, okay. Let's get twin engine as well, because we want to try and improve our naval bombers, which is what we're doing here between both of these techs. We want a very flexible twin-engine based Air Force, I think, this time round. Medium is going to be, rather than going for large amounts of CAS. In fact, we don't start with any CAS. You know what? We're going to do medium and lights. Okay. Right, Tactical Air Command. Yeah, let's leave that alone now. And then let's work on air superiority. And then when we get to 38, I'll stop doing air techs. Okay, so from an Air Force standpoint, we don't start too bad. We've got 68 planes. That's pretty good, and I can build that up quite nicely. If we can get to 120, that'll be good. And then naval-wise, we're looking, I think, very strong. We've got a couple of battleships in the production queue still, but we've got a pretty sizable amount of coastal-based submarines, large submarines, and standard submarines. So useful, definitely. Torpedo boats and destroyers seem to be the majority of our navy, but we've got a decent light cruiser force and heavy cruiser force. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the light cruisers and the heavy cruisers, and they're going to be forming part of the transport fleet defense fleets, and then we'll have destroyers and battleships being the main units. So let's have a little look and start arranging things. I could do this off camera, to be honest. Maybe that would be better than doing it on camera. You know what? Let me know what your preference would be, because we don't need to rush to do that. And yes, we can get destroyer tech improvements. So yeah, let's get that one. And very good. Our last HQ group has come up here. And let's attach you to the 8th. So we've got the 2nd, the 8th, and the 1st, which are all similar armies. And then we've got these units, which we're still getting together. Oops, I didn't mean to click there. That was silly. Right, and we do need to give the corps commanders a few basic things as well. Yeah, you know what? Let's give the corps commanders, if we can find any logistical people that are left, let's give them over. Yeah, you. Oh, you're an old guard. We don't want you. Anyone else? Yep, the 1st over here. Yep, another logistics person. And it's all about that supply. Now, I don't want to give them anyone that's a combined arms expert, because they're pretty few and far between. Let's give them just a level 4. Is there anyone else that drops logistics? Oh, defensive doctrine, you'll do. Right, and then what's the name of this? It's Comando Guardia alla Frontiera. Okay, you're going to join that. You're going to join that. And we're looking for another person that could just fill the role. None of these are particularly great. That guy's got Italian general twice for whatever reason. No, I don't want anyone with the war cross particularly. Offense up, defense, no. How about you? You're pretty useless. Okay. And I could put an army command in here as well, but I just don't think it's necessary. Right, yeah, let's connect you. And you're the 7th Corps. Actually, it might actually be needed thinking about it because, yes, of this one. So you know what, we will put an army command in. That's going to waste a bit of time, but oh well. Let's chuck that in. Yeah. And then let's have you go into the frontier one. Yeah. Okay. And then we need a logistics wizard for this group. Or at least this guy. Yep, you reduce supply consumption. Let's just put you in that role. And then what we can do is we can take you and just immediately chuck you, yep, onto the frontier. And then can you join the frontier group as well? Yes, you can. Very nice. There we go. Not bad. Not bad at all. And then we're going to position you in Rome. In fact, you know what? You can go in Rome as well. We'll have all the garrison units report directly to Rome. Apart from any core groups. Okay, so the majority of our units are now within the command structure. We've got now an army sort of pointed at the French. We've got an army pointed at Austria at the moment, but soon to be Yugoslavia, which does have the motorized group within it. We can probably shift that motorized group between wherever it's needed though. And then we've got the 4th Army, which is a mountain group, which I'll probably give over here. And then finally we've got, yeah, our forces down here. So let's give you a crack commander. And give you a crack commander. Crack commanders for days. There we all go. And then let's put all of these garrison units, I think. In fact, let's put it in the middle. So yeah, you, and you. Let's give all of you a core command, and then let's have the core command head to where the fortifications are, and then let's chuck in a logistics person if we've got one anywhere. Yeah. And then we can just attach you to the Tripoli based army. Okay. Not bad. So the last units that we need to move, or we're waiting on, are these ones over here. So that's not going to take too long. We're just going to get them into position. Then we're going to reach 1938 in a moment, which is kind of nice. And we're up to 211 IC. Now, I'm not sure whether or not I want to do the 15% IC buff on this run now, because IC-wise we're starting to drop off a little bit. Although one more year of it might not be a bad idea. Yeah, you know what, let's do that. We'll boost supply again, and we want to keep reducing our neutrality, and I am going to do the short-term investment again. Okay, so there's the Spanish Civil War event kicking in again. To keep the war going, we are going to show our strength, because I don't want to lose unity and stuff. Yeah, let's keep that national unity ticking up. If we can get that to near 100, that would be pretty good. Supplies for money. We'll do that one and that one. Not worried about Haiti. And another minor research breakthrough. And national recruiting policy. Further balanced sane approach. Yeah, we'll do money for rare materials. Thank you, Finland. And I imagine Trento, wherever it is. Where is Trento? Here we go. Yeah, you're actually building up quite nicely. And we're up to 232 on IC now. That's quite nice. Yep, our industrial capacity is coming along quite nicely. Slowly but surely. Money for energy. Sure, why not? That drives us positive. And we'll do that rare materials trade with Yugoslavia. Let's stay on good terms with them. And I think I'm going to put a cut in here. So thank you very much for watching this episode, and I will be back in, well, for you a couple of days, but for me it will be just a moment, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Thanks again. Bye-bye.